In a land blessed with fertile soil and ancient traditions, there lived a village that knew no peace. Not from famine, not from war, but because of one man. He was the prince, strong in muscle, but weak in honor. He took whatever he desired, trampling on custom, dignity, and fearlessly breaking the sacred laws of the land. And the king watched in silence. The men of the village burned with anger but were bound by fear. The young women lived in constant dread, hiding their beauty as though it were a curse. Among them was one whose beauty could not be hidden. Her name was Umoufie. So beautiful that kings and wealthy men from distant towns came bearing gifts and promises. But she rejected them all. "I will marry only the man who dares to challenge the prince and put an end to his shameful ways." And so she waited, alone, hidden, unbroken. Fate, however, had already begun to move. Deep in the forest, a wounded traveler collapsed. Umoufie found him lost, injured, but with eyes that carried wisdom and fire. His name was Osinga. For months, she cared for him. She treated his wounds inside her humble hut as the seasons changed outside from rain to sun to harvest. And in the silence of their shared respect, strength returned to his body and purpose to his soul. Then one day, chaos erupted. The prince's guards stormed through the village, their aggression shattering the fragile quiet. "By order of the prince, Umoufie must come with us," they shouted, banging on her door. But as Umoufie watched in fear, Osinga stepped forward to protect her. That day, the village saw something it had never seen before. Osinga moved with incredible skill and speed, disarming the guards one by one. In moments, the prince's men lay defeated. News of the stranger's defiance reached the palace. The prince raged like a wounded beast, and the king summoned both Osinga and Umoufie. Before the entire village gathered in the royal courtyard, Osinga spoke, his voice clear and strong. "I will challenge the prince. Here, today, by the laws of your ancestors." A gasp rippled through the crowd. This was a fight to the death. The weapons were presented. The prince, arrogant and sneering, chose a deadly sickle-shaped sword. Osinga chose only a rope tied to a heavy stone. Laughter erupted from the prince and his followers, but Osinga remained calm. The drums began to beat, their rhythm matching the pounding hearts of the onlookers. What followed was not just a fight of strength, but a clash between brute arrogance and cunning wisdom. The prince attacked with wild, aggressive slashes, but Osinga moved with swift, intelligent footwork, easily dodging every blow. He used the rope and stone not as a weapon of force, but as a tool of entrapment. He was always one step ahead. Before anyone could blink, Osinga swung the rope, ensnaring the prince's legs. The tyrant crashed to the ground, his sword flying from his hand. The battle was over. A stunned silence fell over the arena. Then, a single cheer broke the quiet, followed by an explosion of celebration. That day, fear left the village. Justice stood tall. Umoufie smiled through tears of joy as she looked at the man who had answered her call for courage. Osinga had won more than a battle. He had won a wife and a people's freedom. The villagers lifted him onto their shoulders, chanting his name. And from that day on, his name was sung by generations, Osinga the Warrior. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story of courage and justice, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more tales from around the world. See you next time.